What's up, everybody? This is my WWE SmackDown Live review for August 2nd. SmackDown Live review just went off the air. I'm going to read my Twitter poll asking people to rate tonight's SmackDown Live. 31 votes have been cast. Whoever voted on Twitter, thank you for voting. At TNA WWE Guy, that's my main Twitter account. My other Twitter is at NXT WWE Guy. Follow both of those accounts if you would like. So, rate tonight's SmackDown Twitter poll. SmackDown Live. I don't think they're going to just call it SmackDown anymore. They're probably going to call it SmackDown Live every single week from now on, and that makes a lot of sense because it is live. Thank God, because I could not stand anymore watching SmackDown taped on Thursdays. Here's a poll. 4. The numbers 4, 6, 7, and 9. To vote for, 13% said tonight's show is a 4. 6, 10% voted that it was a 6. 42% said it was a 7. 35% said it was a 9. So thank you all for voting on the rate tonight's SmackDown Live poll. I would give tonight's show at least a 7 or 7.5. 7 or 7.5 is pretty damn good. Was it better than last night's Raw? Probably was. A little bit. So here we go. Well, you can't really judge. I mean, you can judge the two shows, but SmackDown Live is only 2 hours, and Raw's 3 hours. So here we go. Up first, we had Shane McMahon backstage. Shane McMahon was talking to Randy Orton backstage about saying, "Man, why did you RKO out of nowhere Brock Lesnar to end Raw last night?" That was a pretty damn good end to Raw. It wasn't great, but it was pretty good. I didn't expect Orton really to show up so quickly and RKO Lesnar out of nowhere so quickly before SummerSlam, but he did. So Shane was saying, "Randy, now we're going to have to hire a lot of security, basically, to make sure Brock Lesnar does not get in the arena and attack you on SmackDown Live." But then Shane says, it was awesome what you did. That Shane really enjoyed it. So, then we had Daniel Bryan talking to The Miz. Backstage, The Miz was bitching and moaning that he's an A-lister and that he's an A-lister. Same old crap Miz has been saying for years. Miz is a good heel. The guy just needs to lose the Intercontinental title at least at SummerSlam because it's been long enough already. So up first we had Dean Ambrose was backstage and he says, "I'm going out to cut a promo. Basically, I'm going out right now in front of my people." Or the champ is going out in front of the crowd. So Dean Ambrose kicks off. SmackDown Live goes out, gets a damn good pop, does the WWE Champion, gets a good pop. And then after that, it was a good promo from Dean, and then Dolph Ziggler, I believe, shows up. Or no, not yet. Yes, I don't know where I'm at. I'm not thinking here. Anyways, Dolph Ziggler shows up. The show-off comes out. Dolph cuts a great promo, very passionate promo. Dolph Ziggler was really fired up, telling Dean Ambrose, "You don't respect me. You don't think I deserve a title shot at SummerSlam. Well, I'm going to show you tonight that I deserve it." And then I believe Dean left the ring and the lights go out. Bray Wyatt shows up, Sister Abigail to Dolph Ziggler. So Ziggler's out cold from Sister Abigail. Great promo from Ambrose and Ziggler, building up, hyping up their SummerSlam main event for the WWE Championship. And then backstage later on, it would be announced that Bray Wyatt would take on Dolph Ziggler, number one contender for the WWE Championship. If Ziggler loses, Bray Wyatt gets his title shot against Ambrose at SummerSlam. I was kind of afraid that Dolph would lose his title shot and the company would screw him again, but that didn't happen. So up next we had, and Dean Ambrose ended the promo before Dolph with Sister Abigail. Dean says, "Sounds to me you are not as good as you think you are." That was pretty good stuff. And then Daniel Bryan, as I said, and Dolph Ziggler later on backstage. And Ziggler is pretty pissed. Up next, we had a triple threat match for the number one contendership to the Intercontinental Championship. Triple threat. Kalisto against Apollo Crews against Baron Corbin. Winner would go to SummerSlam to get the Intercontinental title shot. I picked Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews wins. I was very happy about that. Apollo Crews definitely should be the next Intercontinental Champion, no doubt about it. They have to get the title off The Miz. Apollo Crews is a great talent. The guy needs a championship, and he should be the next Intercontinental Champion. Get the title off The Miz. So, Apollo Crews wins. Then we had Kalisto get attacked by Baron Corbin because he's pissed. And then Corbin attacks Kalisto, and then Crews jumps in, and then Crews gets a skull-crushing finale from The Miz, and then Baron Corbin hits the end of days, I believe, on The Miz. I missed who he hit the end of days on, but it was one of those guys. I think it was Miz or Kalisto. So it was damn good to see Apollo Crews wins, and then Miz hits his finisher on Apollo Crews, building up their match at SummerSlam. So before that match, as I said, we had Daniel Bryan backstage and Dolph Ziggler talking about, you want to put your title shot on the line against Bray Wyatt tonight. You don't have to do that. You have nothing to prove. You're getting a title shot. And Ziggler didn't really have anything to prove because last week he won a six-pack challenge in the main event to become the number one contender. But Dolph, being the show-off, the guy wanted to show off again and prove that he is the real number one contender and that he deserves a WWE title shot. It's about fucking time that Ziggler starts getting pushed in main events of pay-per-views. Or at least a main event of the brand that he's on. I don't think Ambrose Ziggler, I don't think it will close and end SummerSlam. I don't. I think they should end with Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar. That's just my opinion. So, then after Apollo Crews wins a triple threat, up next we have a women's match. Becky Lynch against, making her in-ring debut on the main roster, Eva God-Awful Marie. Eva God-Awful Marie, she has improved a tiny bit since being in NXT for so long, but she's still no good, and she could still injure her opponents anytime. So, Eva Marie, first Becky Lynch comes out, gets a great pop. I'm a big fan of Becky Lynch. She is great. Not only does she look great, but she is a damn good wrestler. And that's the most important thing. Looks, to me, in a women's wrestler, looks are not important. If you can wrestle, if you're a great worker, that's what's important to me. So, Becky Lynch comes out first, the last kicker, and then Eva Marie comes out in her god-awful entrance music with some guy's voice dubbing over the music and talking throughout her theme, talking that Just stupid shit. It was annoying as fuck. Eva Marie's entrance is more annoying than her voice and than her cutting a promo. Her entrance might even be worse than her wrestling. I don't know which one's worse, but it was bad. So Eva comes out, and this guy on Twitter that follows me, I forget his Twitter name, but he follows me. He wrote to me that he saw Eva Marie wincing, that she's wincing like she was injured when she was walking down to the ring. Maybe that's true. I would have to watch the match back to see the look on her face when she was going to the ring. I didn't see her wincing, but I wasn't really staring at her face. So she was wincing like she was in pain getting into the ring. And then she had a WWE doctor came over to the ring apron talking to her like, what's wrong? And then the referee started talking to the ring announcer, and Becky Lynch was standing in the ring looking like, what the fuck's going on? Am I going to even get to wrestle tonight? Becky was probably pretty upset, and I don't blame her, because she wanted to probably work, and she deserved to work tonight. But the referee goes to the ring announcer, says this match is called off. The match is called off. I guess the doctor told the ref Eva Marie tore something in her leg. Tore a quad, I don't know. Tore a hamstring, has an injured hamstring. I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know why she'd go out to the ring if she was in pain. I guess she's too afraid to tell somebody backstage at the last minute, because she knew she had to go out there no matter what. Whatever. She's probably was in fear of telling Vince or telling an agent that she's in pain and couldn't work tonight. That she's probably in too much fear of, I don't know, losing her job or getting heat. That's why she'd probably didn't tell anybody if she was injured before the match. That's my guess. Because a lot of people backstage, I don't know if it's true anymore, but a lot of people are probably in fear of losing their job in WWE. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about the mid-card wrestlers. A lot of them might be in fear of losing their job if they get heat, or if they would tell an agent or Vince if they tell them they're injured and they can't work. But if you're injured and you can't work, WWE shouldn't send you out to the ring, and I don't think they would do that. It's like saying you got a concussion. If you were diagnosed with a concussion, would Vince McMahon and WWE send you out to the ring the next night if you got a concussion? I don't think so. If you got a concussion 2-3 weeks ago, you probably still wouldn't be able to wrestle until you get medically cleared and get to pass a concussion test. So WWE's doing a great job with not letting their talent return to the ring if they are still suffering from concussion-like symptoms. They shouldn't be able to return. They should not be, unless they can pass a concussion test. I mean, it is, as a fan, it is annoying if a talent is out for like 2-3 months, like Sasha Banks was out for about 2 months with a concussion. I want her back healthy, but it was kind of annoying that she wasn't on TV because she was out with a concussion, but that's not her fault. That was a stupid referee's fault that kneed Sasha Banks in the head at a live event. So then she got a concussion by a really weird accident. Stupid ref. Whoever kneed her in the head should have been fired, in my opinion, because that's just stupidity to do that to a talent. Especially when you're the referee. Why would you knee... How in the fuck would you knee a wrestler in the head? I don't understand how that happened. Whatever. So, the match was called off. Eva Marie never made her debut. Her in-ring debut did not happen. round of applause for that, because I didn't want to see her in the ring. I was in fear that she would injure Becky Lynch, and nobody wants to see Becky Lynch be injured by the super green Eva Marie. And if she doesn't hurt Becky in the future, she could hurt anybody else on the roster, any other woman on the roster. She could hurt and probably will hurt. So Eva doesn't make her debut. That was pretty damn funny, and it's pretty shocking that the match was called off. It was damn surprising, and it was pretty damn funny. Again, if Eva's injured, if she tore something, if she pulled a muscle, pulled a hamstring, she shouldn't be allowed to wrestle until she's 100% healthy. But in my opinion, I don't think she should be allowed to wrestle anyways, because she sucks. That's why. So up next we had a tag team match. Another SmackDown main roster debut. Eva Marie's never happened. It never happened. The match never happened. So you could say Eva Marie still hasn't made her main roster debut. Up next, the tag team match. The Vaudevillains against the American Alpha, making their SmackDown Live debut on the main roster. American Alpha is great. They are the best tag team in wrestling today. Not just WWE, in all of wrestling, in my opinion. Chad Gable, Jason Jordan are great. They are greatness. They are two great, hell of a talents. They're awesome. American Alpha wins their debut. Of course they do. We all knew they were going to win their debut, and it was awesome. So up next we had AJ Styles come out and cut his promo and deliver a message to John Cena. AJ didn't get to talk very long, and then John Cena came out. And again, Cena, every time he comes out, the guy gets a 50-50 reaction, 50% boos, 50% cheers. And the cheers are by little kids and cougars or MILFs, in my opinion. So AJ cuts a great promo, bashing John Cena, bashing his fans, bashing little kids, bashing the fans that like John Cena, and just being a great heel on the mic. It was damn good what AJ did. It was great stuff what AJ Styles did tonight on the microphone. It was awesome. I really enjoyed it. It was a good segment. And then John Cena started talking, saying, AJ, you're just here because you are a great wrestler. That didn't make any sense to me, but whatever. And then Cena tried explaining, I'm here because I love this company. I'll do anything for this company, and that is true. Cena will do anything for the company. The guy hosts the Today Show for 1 hour, and then he jumps on a private jet and flies to Raw, or flies to SmackDown. That's insane. The guy's like a freaking workaholic. He's a company man. John Cena is I'm sure, away from his character, off of WWE TV. The guy's, I'm sure, a great guy. And I have no hate towards Cena. I mean, I don't like him in the ring. I don't like his character. Him as a babyface is stale as hell, and it's just really old and outplayed. Him being a babyface, he should really turn heel, like Hulk Hogan did in '96. That shocked the world. That'd be great for wrestling. That'd be great for the WWE, but I don't see Cena turning heel within the next 3 years. So Cena cuts a promo, says, I love this company. I'll do anything for this company. I'm flying to New York tomorrow night to be on the Stephen Colbert Late Show, or whatever the show's. I think it's called Late. It's called the Late Show, because that's what Stephen Colbert's show's called. I was trying to remember the name because there's like 500 late night shows out there. Anyways, I only watch Conan and Kimmel. I don't bother watching the other ones. I mean, I do see James Corbin on YouTube when he does those carpool karaoke. That's pretty good stuff. That's the only thing I see out of James Corbin. The other guy, Seth Meyers, Late Night with Seth Meyers, I don't watch that. I don't care about that show. Anyways, my opinion, the two best are Conan and Kimmel. So AJ Cena, great segment. It was very good. And then AJ says he's basically wants a match with Cena. The match is made. It's going to be Cena, AJ Styles 2 at SummerSlam 2016. Up next, we had Randy Orton in action against Fandango. Fandango is about to get an RKO out of nowhere and lose for sure. But instead, Brock Lesnar shows up out of nowhere. Brock shows up. He's outside the ring. Security's trying to stop him. And security can't stop the Beast. Nobody can stop the Beast if he wants to get in the ring and beat somebody's ass. Nobody's going to stop Brock Lesnar. I wouldn't try to stop the guy. He'd pick me up, F5 me, and break me in half. So security couldn't stop Brock. Brock jumps in the ring, picks up Orton, F5 out of nowhere. That was fucking awesome to see. That was great. Good build-up. I like where they're going with their storyline. Last night, Orton hit an RKO out of nowhere. Tonight, Brock hits an F5 out of nowhere on SmackDown. Brock shows up to SmackDown. Brock used to own SmackDown from 2002 to 2003. Brock was great when he was the champion on SmackDown, on the SmackDown brand. Brock was awesome. He used to, as I said, he used to own SmackDown. So Brock showing up on SmackDown, that was awesome. I like where they're going with this match and the build-up to SummerSlam. We're going to have the Beast against the Viper. I'm looking forward to it. I'm also looking forward to Rollins and Ballard. That's going to be fucking awesome. And I'm also looking forward to Sasha Charlotte. That should be damn good also. And now AJ and Cena's made, and The Miz defending the Intercontinental title against Apollo Crews is also made and booked for SummerSlam 2016. So after Brock hit a F5 out of nowhere, Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon were backstage. They tried to come out, and then they were talking backstage. How did Brock get in? How did he get in? We had security. We couldn't stop him. It was pretty funny. Up next, we had then Heath Slater out of nowhere. We're talking about RKO's out of nowhere. F5's out of nowhere. Heath Slater out of nowhere shows up again. Shows up backstage and scared Daniel Bryan. And basically, Bryan was saying, like, get out of my office. Just get out of here. And Heath Slater says, I look great up on the SummerSlam poster. One time, no, you wouldn't, Heath. Heath Slater's like a fucking cockroach. The guy doesn't go away. The guy doesn't die. He's like a cockroach. And I guarantee you they're going to keep running with Heath Slater. Heath Slater's going to keep running like a cockroach to Raw and SmackDown every week. And it's going to be pretty funny. But if they keep doing it for 1 or 2 months, it's going to get fucking old. So Slater, the guy, I'm not joking. The guy's like a cockroach. He keeps popping up and he won't go away and he won't die. So when you stomp on cockroaches, they don't fucking die. A lot of the times they still are alive and run away. So, Heath Slater showing up, that is pretty funny. I'm sure he'll show up on Raw and SmackDown next week and the next week after that. So, who knows? Maybe Slater will get a match at SummerSlam, and if he wins, he can pick whatever brand he goes on. So after that, we had Natalya. Carmella came out, got a pretty good pop. It was great to see Carmella, but she didn't get to wrestle. Carmella comes out, does her thing on the mic. She's great. I'm a big fan of Carmella, big supporter of Carmella. She's really improved in the ring. Carmella's attacked from behind by Natalya. that was pretty good to see. Natalya's a pretty good heel, always attacking people. Before she's attacking Becky, now she's attacking Carmella. Puts Carmella in the sharpshooter. That's good stuff. Then we go backstage to Daniel Bryan talking to Dolph Ziggler, and Shane McMahon is there. Dolph is pissed and says, I have to do this against Bray Wyatt. I have to prove that I'm worthy of getting a title shot against Ambrose. And then Dolph yells at Daniel Bryan and says, screw you, and just goes out to the ring. Main event up next. Bray Wyatt against Dolph Ziggler. Winner is the #1 contender for the WWE Championship, and Dean Ambrose is the WWE Champion. Pretty good main event. I enjoyed it. Pretty good match. Dolph Ziggler, I was a little bit afraid Dolph would lose, and WWE would go with the storyline of, I don't know, holding him back again, or I thought maybe Dolph would lose and snap and turn heel and attack Ambrose and get on the mic and scream WWE screw Dolph again. That would have been pretty good stuff, pretty funny. But that didn't happen. It was the right decision, the absolute right decision to have Dolph Ziggler defeat Bray Wyatt tonight. Bray Wyatt is still being punished. Stupidly, he's still being punished because he replied to a Matt Hardy tweet on Twitter. I'm not joking. If Bray keeps losing into September, that's fucking ridiculous, and that should stop. He doesn't have to be punished for the entire month of September. Nobody would need to see that. I mean, Bray, his punishment should be over by SummerSlam, and hopefully he gets on the SummerSlam pay-per-view. He better, because it's 4 hours. And whoever Bray faces at SummerSlam, he should go over. So his punishment, hopefully, will be over at SummerSlam for tweeting and replying to Matt Hardy. I mean, the stuff you can get heat for in the WWE is absolutely ridiculous and stupid. As I said I think last week on a video review, if you sneeze or cough in front of Vince McMahon, you'd probably get major heat and be held down for months. The stuff you can get heat for is ridiculous and pointless. Dolph Ziggler wins, and then Eric Rowan comes out, attacks Dolph, and Ambrose is doing commentary, takes off his leather jacket, runs in the ring, and Ambrose then gets attacked after trying to help Dolph. It'll probably lead to a tag match on SmackDown going into SummerSlam, where Ambrose and Ziggler are tag partners, and then they'll have to work together as a team, but they probably won't be able to, and they'll probably get a lot of heat between them, and they'll probably explode and attack each other going into SummerSlam. I'm glad it's Ziggler versus Ambrose for the championship at SummerSlam. The build-up, Ziggler winning tonight, just helps Ziggler and helps the main event even more. Helps Ambrose versus Ziggler, helps it even more. Good build-up going into SummerSlam. They're making Dolph look strong going into his championship match. Ambrose, the guy always looks strong, in my opinion, because he's the champion still. Good addition of SmackDown Live. I enjoyed it. As I said, I'd give it a 7. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to my YouTube. Hope you enjoyed my SmackDown Live August 2nd, 2016 review. Bye for now.